I've asked Benatis Crawford, who is a longtime TICA member, and she's the Deputy Regional Director for the Southeast Region. She is the entry clerking administrator. I can't even tell you how many things she does for TICA. She's been around for a really long time, I think a lot longer, I want to say 35 years.
I started showing in 93, 94.
So we have people that have asked, well, what should I and what should I not do if I want to show my cat? So Benatis, please.
Thank you all for coming this afternoon. I hope you're going to find this interesting. I do have this handout that I passed out to you, so that'll give you something you can take back and consider. I think that the first thing that's really important to understand is, what do you want to get out of showing your cat, okay? And unfortunately, a lot of people, they'll come to the show halls and the first thing that they're going to say is, I want to win. I want that best cat. I want those pretty rosettes. Honestly, that's really not the most important thing about showing your cat. The most important things about showing your cat are to learn more about your cat, different breeds of cats. The other thing is to make new friends. The thing is, as Ms. Ringy mentioned, I've been doing this for more years than I'm going to claim to admit sometimes, but I have literally friends all over the world, and it is simply because of being in the cat fancy and showing my cats. So if you want to get into this hobby, don't look at it merely for the win. Look at it for the other things that you're going to gain. The learning, the enjoyment, the meeting new people, to seeing new places. Now, I will also say, yes, when we travel around and go to shows, we get to go to a lot of neat places. Most of the time we see what we see here, the inside of a show hall, okay? But sometimes you can tack on an extra day or two, do a little sightseeing, get to see some different places, and show your cats as well. Now, how do you know if your cat wants to be a show cat? And let's be real honest, not every cat wants to be a show cat, okay? What you probably want to do is look and see how your cat interacts with other people, okay? If you have friends come over to your house and your cat is not seen anywhere, they're under a table somewhere or in a back room, they're probably not going to be real happy being in an environment here with a lot of other people, with a lot of other cats. If you have a cat that is shy around other cats, while our cats here don't interact directly with each other, they still see other cats. So if they get really scared around other cats, they may not necessarily make a good show cat. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, I just have a cat that I got at my local rescue, or I found it in my backyard, or my neighbor had kittens. I can't show those cats. That is not true. In the cat fancy, we do allow our non-pedigree household pets to be shown. And the only restrictions on that is once they're 8 months of age or older, they must be spayed or neutered to compete. From 4 months to just before they turn 8 months, they can be still whole, although we do recommend that they are spayed and neutered because we want to make sure that the population is controlled. Now, maybe you would like a pedigree cat. Maybe you have a pedigree cat at home. Can you show that pedigree cat? Of course you can. In fact, a lot of people say that, well, you have to show a household pet before you show a pedigree cat. In my case, the very first cat that I showed was a pedigree cat. I didn't even show a household pet until actually many years later. So, in fact, actually on my little handout here, we're allowed to do a little bit of bragging. These are actually 6 cats of mine that I've shown over the years. 3 of them are pedigree cats. There's a Japanese bobtail, an exotic short hair, and a Scottish fold long hair, as well as 3 of my rescues, the black and white short hair, a solid black short hair, and a red mackerel tabby short hair. And actually all 6 of these cats were honored either as regional winners or international winners in our association. So, like I said, you don't need a fancy cat. You can have a cat that is your love cat, and that's an important thing. So, how are you going to actually find out about the shows that are available? This is going to be hard to do on YouTube, but if you actually go out to TICA's website, which is tica.org, and you go to events and show calendar, that'll actually take you to the listing of all of the shows that we have that are going on in TICA worldwide. And you may say, oh, do I have to go to one of my local shows first? No, you can go anywhere, and you can enter any of these shows. So if you want your first show to be your backyard neighborhood show, fine. If you want it to be a show that's across the country or even another country, fine. But if you go outside of your own country, there are usually requirements that, from country to country transport you need to consider. So how do we go about entering a show? I'm not going to try to give you the whole process here, but basically you'll go to the show calendar, you'll sign up for a free account, just like everything these days. It's internet access, and there's usually a free account. It is a free account. What you're going to do is enter your cat information into the system and then submit it to the show that you're interested in entering. Each show has an entry clerk that is more than happy to answer any questions that you might have on the show itself, the entry process, to handhold you through the process. So don't feel that this is overwhelming. You've got somebody there that's going to help you. Do be aware that the entry clerks are not paid officials of TICA, that all of us actually have full-time, sometimes full-time plus jobs. So if you send them an email, if you don't get that immediate response, don't worry about it. You'll hear within probably 24 to 48 hours. Just don't keep sending emails to them going, I haven't heard. It's like, it's because we probably haven't seen, okay? So obviously then you would pay for your entry. The show calendars usually list what the fees are to enter the shows. And if you need, I do have on the handout a link to a video tutorial to try to help you through the entering process. Now, how do you actually want to get ready for the show? You have to get yourself ready for the show as well as get your cat ready for the show. Now again, I said before, that is your cat a show cat? How do you actually get your cat comfortable to try to go in this environment? One thing you can do is get more of your friends over, have them interact with your cat, have them handle your cat, have them pick them up, have them pet your cat, have them pet their head, have them, like I said, work with them, get them to know different people. A lot of stores these days actually will allow you to take your pets. I know PetSmart is that way, I believe Petco might be, even Home Depot, just getting them out, in a carrier, in a stroller, something, so that they know something other than your home environment is really going to help them get ready for the show, okay? The other thing is, any of you who are in the show have seen judges playing with, we call them stick toys. They're basically a stick with a feather or strings on the end of them. Play with your cats with toys that are like that so that they're used to it, so they don't go and they see a judge with a toy and go, oh! This is a big scary thing. They realize, oh, this is fun. I get to come, I get to be admired, I get to play with all this fun stuff, okay? So they need to learn just like you need to learn about what is going on. The other thing is, every cat that comes into a show hall, you want to make sure that it is well groomed. That means bathed, nails need to be trimmed, ears need to be clean, okay? And of course, you want to make sure that your cat is in good health and up to date with all of its vaccines before you even consider entering your cat in the show. All right? Also, shows, you again want to work with your entry clerk. Look at the show listings. They'll usually say if cages are provided for the show. or if you need to actually provide benching cages for your show. There are lots of low-cost available pop-up type options if you're first getting started. If your show is what's called a cageless show, okay, or a bring your own cage show, in that case you would need to bring something. It's normally about a maximum of 44 inches by 22 inches by 22 inches, roughly. If the show does provide wire cages, they may be available for either a rental fee or for free. Again, this will be in the show listings. Usually if it's a rental fee, it's usually $10, $15 for the entire weekend. And in that case, you would get a wire cage like you see over here. But if you do use wire cages, you will need to bring something: sheets, towels, plastic tablecloths I've seen people do, to put on the bottom, 3 sides, and top of the cage. You will also need to bring a litter box. Shows will provide you litter. Again, look at your show details to see if for some reason they're not, but most shows I know do provide litter. Food bowls, food, water bowls, water, and any grooming supplies you would need for your cat. So like short hairs, you might have a short comb. Long hairs, you would have a longer comb. Sometimes if you work either with a breeder, if you're working with a breed, your breeder can give you guidance on the best way to groom your cats for the show ring. So basically, what can you expect when you come here? You will basically check in. You will be told where you would set up in the show hall. You will set up either with the rented wire cages or with your own space. Then each cat is given a number. That is also given to you at check-in. Your number will be used to identify your cat throughout the entire show. Each ring will call the cat by that number. You will take your cat to the ring, put the cat in the cage that has your number on it. The judge will take your cat out of the cage, put it on a judging table, judge the cat, and then after they're done and the clerk does, which is sort of the administrative assistant, does their thing, they will dismiss the cats by turning the cards down. You will take your cat from the ring back to your area, then to wait to see if your cat is called back for a final award. Those are usually either the rosettes or some other identification of possibly up to 10 cats being placed as the highest scoring in that particular ring. You would be judged in every single ring. Now, when finals are called, we do not call numbers. So what they will do is they will say the class. So if you're showing in household pets, they make an announcement that ring 2 is doing household pet finals. Check your numbers. And you would go up, see if your cat's number is up there, bring your cat back up. Then the judge will actually place the placements of up to 1 to 10, usually from 10 to best, okay? Afterwards, you would take your cat down and go and you would thank the judge. That's always common courtesy, that, for the award, and then you can bathe in the spotlight, and then you would go back and wait for your next judging opportunities. I know I've gone through a lot in a very, very short period of time, and it's for this reason that we actually have, it's a new exhibitor's guide that was written by one of our TICA clubs that goes a lot of this in detail, including how scoring is done, how finals are handled, how judging is handled, things like that. On your sheet is the URL for that as well. And I'm going to ask Rini, when she posts this, to also post that link in the YouTube video as well. I thank you all for coming today, and if you have any questions, I will be glad to answer.